you can't go online, and you know this now, but you can't go online and find who's giving the best deal, can you?
No, you can't. Yeah, you cannot get to the bottom of something without talking to people.
Right. And how many times have we've pulled up vehicles online and we've said, oh, this looks to be a good deal. And then when we call the dealership, the deal is not even as good as the other one that looked like, cars.com or CarGurus said, oh, this is a great deal. Right. But then when we get the deal back, is it a great deal?
No.
Right. And so that's the main thing that I want to, get across here. And I'm glad that you brought it up is, we're not, special magicians, right? Now we know, what information in the process of how to negotiate and how to get the overall best deal, because we do it in pieces, right?
Mhm.
First, it's the sale price, right? Then we negotiate and we find the best deal for the trade-in, right? And then at the end, what do? We make sure that the customer is getting the best deal on the financing that we're able to get them, right? And so it's just a process that takes time that our clients don't want to go through, right? And so, we have the time to do it, and we're willing to do it for our fee, right? And so I think what you probably thought when you signed on was, okay, hey, this guy's negotiating all these deals. He should be able to know, what a new X cost, and he should be able to quickly get that deal, right? But we can't, because we don't play any favorites. And what happens every single month? Well, the market changes, right? What was a good deal yesterday, okay, might be a horrible deal today. Or what was a good deal a year ago actually would be, what was a ripoff a year ago might be a great deal today if we could get that same number, right?
Mhm.
And so there's really no way for us to, we just move along with the market. And the only way for us to get to the best deal is we have to make calls the same way that the consumer has to make calls. The consumer can't find the best deal online. You just can't do it. It's impossible. And so either they need to put in the work, like you said, by contacting multiple different dealerships, getting proposals back, negotiating it the way that we negotiate it, or they need to hire somebody that will do that, or have somebody else do it for them, right? There's no in between. Like, there's no other way. Otherwise, like the majority of Americans, they're just going to go to a dealership, pick out the car that they want, okay, sit there for hours, go back and forth, finally come to an agreement because they don't want to go through that same process somewhere else, right?
Yeah.
And then they're just going to make a deal. They're going to leave. They're going to go back into the finance office. Their head's going to be spinning, right? Finance manager is going to offer them all different other types of stuff. Here's your payment. At that point, they're just like, I just want my new car, right? And what are they going to do? They're going to sign, and they're going to be on their way. As soon as they leave the dealership, in their mind, they're like, I just got ripped off, or I may have just been ripped off, whatever. I needed a car. This, at least I'm in a new car, right? Whereas with us, are we getting them the best deal? Well, the only way for us to know that is if we were to call every single dealership in the country. So we can't guarantee them the best deal, but we can guarantee them that they're getting a really good one, because we're going to contact multiple different places, right? There's no way they're going to be ripped off, when they're dealing with us. So now you and we both, I always mention that we don't make any claims about saving people money, but you had said that you think you have saved people money. So talk about that.
Yeah. So you're right in saying there's no way to truly know. And
Mm-hmm.
even if I think I saved a particular client money, there's no way to know how much it was without going back in time, them not hiring me, and buying the car themselves and saying, okay, how much did you spend for that car? and then we're in this other universe. Here's how much you spent for the car. Compare the numbers. So there's no way to truly know. But that being said, because there are so many parts of a car deal, and there can be, there's the purchase price, the back end products, the financing, the trade-in, and then just the time to get the vehicle, because that's valuable, and finding the car, and then what kind of value, what kind of dollar amount is someone willing to put on getting the right color or trim level, because they're so, thin in terms of what's available. You can't really put an accurate number on white versus black, when the MSRP is the same. So it's up to that individual person. There's some number in their head that they'd be happy with. But that being said, yeah, kind of when I'm working on a particular deal for a particular car and seeing the state of that market and what I was able to find, just making a reasonable assumption that it took me 40 calls to get to this car, chances are the client wouldn't have had the time, the days, to get to that same point. So then I can assume they wouldn't have found this deal, which is whatever it is, the only car at MSRP, that I could find after that many calls. And so then I can say, okay, well, I saved them this number of markup. And then I see this is how much they were going to sell their trade for. This is how much they think their trade is worth, whatever it is, $12,000. So that's what they're going to get. And then getting them $16,000 for their trade. It's like, okay, I mean, there's $4,000 more. You never know if truly that's what I saved them. But I think it's reasonable to assume that I just saved them $4,000 as a part of the whole deal, because they were going to sell it for $12,000. And then it kind of, it goes on from there. Some dealers will say, yeah, we sell our cars at MSRP because the price of the vehicle itself doesn't have a markup. And then, you get the proposal back and there are thousands of dollars of dealer add-ons. And a consumer who wouldn't know better, because why would you expect them to, would think, yeah, I got a great deal. I got my car at MSRP. Yeah, I paid $5,000, but now my tires have nitrogen in them, so I'm better off. And I still got my car at MSRP. So in that kind of way, just not knowing how to decipher the code that is on, a proposal, and just never truly knowing, you could go buy a car and pay some money and you truly might never know, what did you pay for? Where is this money going? How much of this is a finance charge? How much of this is whatever it is? It's just, it just takes experience to break that all down. And so just putting all those pieces together, I think I can make a reasonable assumption that, I saved this person probably $5,000, had they not hired me. There is no way to truly know. And so, that's why I'll err on the side of,
we don't save people money.
Exactly. Yeah. Because we do save people time as a fact, and we do help people get what they truly want. And that we can prove. The money part, it's harder to prove, which is why I can see it's a slippery slope, to say we save people money. But
there are plenty of people out there that are hiring us because either one, they don't have the time, or two, how many people are uncomfortable in the car buying process, which you've seen, right? It's like they would probably, they're hiring us because they trust us why should somebody trust you? Like, what makes the way that we have our business set up? Why should people be able to trust us more than they can trust somebody else in the industry?
Because of the incentive, right? So that's what I struggled with at the dealership, is like, where did my incentives lie? Well, my incentives were in selling as many products as possible to the consumer, because that's the most profit for everyone on the dealership side, myself included. So I could reasonably expect them not to trust me. And with our business model, it's the opposite. We only get paid by the client, by the consumer, And so that's where our incentive lies, in maximizing their experience and their deal, because that's where the money is coming from, and
Right.
not coming from anywhere else.
I think if we started to sign people up and start making claims that we save people a bunch of money, right? And then maybe not, signing people up, giving them an unrealistic expectation of what it is that we can accomplish, we're doing ourselves a disservice, right? Because, if the expectation is clear on our end, and the only thing that we promise our customers is that we work for them, we have their best interest in mind, we're going to create a different car buying experience where they're not going to have the fear of getting ripped off. They're not going to have to spend hours inside of the dealership going back and forth. And then when they finally sign and they get their vehicle, they can be confident that they didn't get, hammered, right? And if we put that up front and we're honest with people, and then we have people hire us for the right reasons, which are they don't have the time or they just don't want to do it, then when we provide that level of service and they see that like it worked, and most of them, a lot of them have already made some calls, okay, so they know that they're saving, they know that we would prefer that they don't, they should just hire us and save their time from the beginning. But we've had, I've had clients that have, Mike, I tried, like, we know the things to say to get that engineer, that person that has that mind, that they just want to know what the price is. And when they call and they try to get that information, that's the last thing the dealerships want to do. Have you ever had a dealership tell you, Martin, that they do not give information about pricing over the phone?
Yeah, definitely.
What do they say?
Yeah, they just say there's a number of excuses to get them to that point. Like, oh, our prices can change, or, oh, we give you our best price, if you're here in the store, or, oh, we need to have you here before my manager can produce the pricing. All of it, it's not because they don't want to give a price, it's because they want you, they want the upper hand. The entire process is basically a negotiation, or who has more information, and they have the upper hand if you're in their court, basically.
Yeah. That's just their pre-programmed thing to say over the phone, because their main goal is, like we talked about, to get them to come to the dealership. So very rarely will they not do what we want them to do because they want to sell a car. It's just getting that information. The reason why I'm bringing this up is because it's even a struggle for us. Like, we get the same crap that the consumer gets.
Yeah.
No?